Hello guys and welcome to episode 60 of my Rome 2 Total War campaign with the Iceni tribe. Today we have more army movements to get on with. We have our two armies up north to move. We've got the one in the middle of Boys Lands, and they own Gallic and they also own Istros. But this is the army I was talking about, the Spear Runners, and they're going to be continuing down towards Royal Scythia alongside the Swords of Power. We've also got Abraxas Vanquishers who've just taken over Olbia there, and I am going to build a sacred enclosure in that town. But these guys are going to have to stand there while the public order sorts itself out due to the cultural differences and the provincial instability. Down south in Egypt, we have the Mists of Doom, who have just fought off the Desert Snakes at Alexandria. Then we have the Woad Warriors, who are going to have to keep occupied in Orgala because of provincial instability and the raiding from these fleets, which I'm hoping I can get rid of eventually once the port is upgraded in Cyrene. Then I've got the army coming down from Thapsus, the consorts of Morrigan. They can also help out on this front once they get there. I'm just probably going to put them into a force march stance and begin to move them down the coast. I don't need to garrison Lepsis because the actual provincial happiness now for Africa is positive, so no need to do anything there, although I probably could do with upgrading to a harbour here and these two fishing ports. The reason I'm doing loads of fishing is because with all of my new buildings being upgraded, it's going to greatly affect the amount of food that's being produced, because that's mainly what the happiness buildings take up. Anyway, let's go through the forces tab and see what we have to do. So Penios over by Ammonium, we're going to execute another general. So let's go ahead and assassinate one of these guys.
The mother has no mercy.
An opportune failure, unfortunately. And we can go to Adiatorix, who can continue his way to Nicomedia. I really want to have a look around Bithynia's lands before we get into any sort of conflict with them to see exactly how large they are. So that's what that scout's going to be doing. Then we got Ambigatos. He can try and assassinate this guy here, the Sage, and we're going to go with a concealed blade to try and achieve that. And he's dead. Good job, Ambigatos. Hopefully he'll rank up from that. Probably will. Takes a reasonable amount of time in order for that to actually kick in. But here we can have a look at what I'm going to give him in terms of skill to make him better. And it's probably going to go for murder, because that improves his assassination chances with the concealed blade. 10% chance of successful action. Then we've got a Nauni. Still converting the culture in Africa. Adiatorix, still working on the culture in Libya. Cladios, he can stay again because once again another culture is yet to become 100%. Then Brogia, down by Garama, who can also stay where she is, so no need to move any of my druids this turn. In the meantime, let's think about giving more assault raiders to the Iron Winds to make them an overwhelming force against these fleets. Then we can have a look at the Swords of Power, who can continue to move towards Royal Scythia, and I'm actually going to put them to a force march stance, but put them onto the border this turn. Next turn I'll take them out of force march stance and we'll march on Royal Scythia, taking Solica for ourselves. Then we've got the Will of Andrasta, who are going to have to stay in Cyrene. The Burning Men up in Camalodunum, who are very elite actually. I should probably think about moving them out and building another army in their place, but the reason they're there is because I previously had a very large civil war, which kind of basically screwed me a bit when I didn't have any forces back at home when I was halfway across Europe. But now I actually have a garrison force there in order to deal with that. So, anyway, the spear runners can continue past Gallic, and they're going to head down. I can probably actually put them into forced march stance as well, because I want them to get as far as they can as quickly as possible. Then we'll get the Woad warriors, and leave them where they are. The noble stags in Zarmazay Gattusa. Hopefully once the Shrine of Rasmersa is finished and the Warlord's hold, we'll be able to move them out, but currently it looks like we're going to go into negative again if we do so now. Then we have the Consuls of Morrigan already been moved, and Abraucus' Vanquishers going to have to stay there as well. So all of my men pretty much stationary for this turn, other than the couple I've already moved. We've got one turn left until improved shipbuilding has completed, and that will mean that I'll be able to build better ships, which will be very useful. And then I'll probably move on from that in order to upgrade other technologies to do with happiness and so on, just to make sure that I get the most out of my nation and armies instead of having to have them garrisoned all the time. We will see. We do have a lot of money left, so I am going to quickly skip around some of these settlements on the borders and see if there's anything I can upgrade that will actually be useful. So for example, here in Africa, I could probably build a goldsmith to provide the extra wealth from all sources, and upgrade this Lawmaster's hut to a Bard's Grove, although probably not a great idea due to the unhappiness it causes. But I can upgrade the Barbarian Hamlet to a Barbarian Village. That's probably a good idea. And maybe the farms, although no, they're going to cause too much squalor. So let's go towards Mauritania and see if we can upgrade anything here. We can upgrade the fishing villages. We can also upgrade the harbour here, and I'm going to put a fisherman's hut in Midgol. Over at Cartadasht, we can upgrade the Bard's Grove here because there is currently a Warlord's Hold being made. So once the Warlord's Hold finishes before the Bard's Grove, the happiness will actually compensate for the squalor that the Bard's Grove causes. Then in the meantime, in this enclosed land, we're going to create another Lawmaster's hut just to make sure that my research is going as quickly as possible. Up at Tarraco, we could increase the happiness provided by the Warlord's Hold and Meeting Hall, but nothing else I can really upgrade at the moment there. Same in Provincia with Massalia. And pretty much most of these places are upgraded to where my tech allows currently, without providing too much squalor. Rome and Italia already upgraded. Magna Graecia possibly could do with some upgrading. If we upgrade the Great Hall, we can actually afford to upgrade the Barbarian Small Town as well, to improve our income greatly. So that's all our money spent. Didn't think I'd managed to spend that much, but I did. And therefore gives me good reason to click the end turn button. So that's exactly what I'm going to do.
My lord offers you peace. Tomorrow, his preoccupation with this war may see him unleash further torments.
Well, they're no longer offering me lots of money because half their land has disappeared. They only have one province left, the Nasamones, and they're no longer offering me 20,000 coins for peace. So, unfortunately for them, I'm going to have to decline that offer.
I fear you have turned your people from a path of prosperity and sent them towards misfortune.
A noble death. For who? For who? Well, Paputa's increased in rank, but who died? I would like to know. We've got improved shipbuilding being completing, which increased our technology tier of war exercises, which is good. Subversion in Akinidad, or by Akinidad in Cyrene. And it looks like Natos was the guy who died, the general in Cyrene, which is quite annoying But either way, people move on with their lives, and we must replace him. So we must get a member of the Elder Chiefs. So Cericio might be a good guy to get. I think he will own some heroic nobles as his bodyguard. Bravo. Welcome, Cericio. So war exercise is tier 2. We've completed now, and that unlocks plus 5% replenishment rate for all armies and fleets, which is very nice actually. We could go ahead and upgrade to Lodestone. That will unlock basically 2 of these tiers actually. I actually completely forgot about the tiers of the technology tree and what bonuses they give you, but this one would be very useful. The warrior code, plus 5% movement range for all armies and fleets at tier 2 and plus 3% at tier 1. For siege, we could just get this boiling oil in order to reduce the siege unit cost, but that's not that useful to be honest. We've got the minus 5% corruption in my provinces from Druidic Council so far, so maybe going down this route to land and community laws will help me the most, because reducing corruption gives you a lot more money per turn, and also just by upgrading to Celtic Calendar I get plus 2 public order for all provinces anyway, so that's exactly what I was looking for in order to make it easier for me to move my armies on after conquering settlements. So it's likely that I'm going to go down this way in order to benefit most from my research. I think it's always a good idea to make sure that you have a look at what really benefits you the most when it comes to technology, because it's very easy to just go all into military and hope that you get the best units and then steamroll the enemy, but if you can't move your armies on after taking a settlement, then what's the point? Because you won't even be able to use your armies anywhere. War declared between the Seleucids and the Aorsoi. We've got obviously the hidden agents exposed. I get that so much now, I don't even bother with those messages, but we have the commons finishing in Kartuba, so we may as well upgrade that to something useful. Probably gonna make it into a chieftain's hold to give us the most happiness in the province, and then I can upgrade other things like the harbour, or probably gonna make it into a fisherman's hut, and I can also upgrade the Bard's Grove and stuff once the chieftain's hold's finished. Then we've got trait gained for Anauni, plus 1 authority, plus 4 public order per turn for the local province. That is very nice actually. It's going to be very helpful in making some of these provinces a lot more happy. So that's very good. Nice one, Anauni. Then we have an inspired populace in Pannonia and an unhappy populace in Ponto Caspia. We've got a troubled populace in Dacia. A shipwrights report for the Iron Winds. Hopefully they can now take on the Spice Masters of the Nasamornes. Although the Spice Masters will disappear, and all of the navies will disappear if I take the last province of the Nasamornes, I think. Actually, no, that's not the case, because obviously they always have a chance of taking back a settlement once they've been kicked out of all of theirs. So I actually lie. They will still have those navies, and they will still be annoying. So probably best that I do use my navy to kill them. Then we got the encouraged populace in Illyria. Household expands for Flatucius. For plus 5% research rate faction wide, could be useful, but we already have it. He already has a plus 5% research rate, so I'm going to send that to the pool, and I can probably give that to someone else actually. Then we got enemy wounded, Amanj Shikaketo, who targeted Augala to commit arson, but they wounded themselves in the attempt. Okay. Right, the consuls of Morrigan, continue your way towards Ammonium, because that's where I'm going to head you. I need you to take this province, and then we can just kill off the Nasamornes and then kill their navies, because the navies will suffer from attrition once the last town of theirs is taken, but they won't just disappear. In the meantime, though, let's sort this happiness out. We need to create a sacred enclosure here because it looks like there's going to be a rebellion very soon if I'm not careful. Let's get these Iron Winds and see if we can win a battle against these Spice Masters. It's in our favour, and I'm not actually going to fight this on the battle map because large naval battles never go how you want them to. They just break. So I'm going to auto-resolve that, and we're going to go with an aggressive stance for a close victory. I'm okay with that, as long as I kick the navies out of the area. Because they're causing a lot of the unhappiness. With them stopping their piracy and raiding, we'll get the -40 from raiding disappearing next turn, which will in theory put us to like plus 20%, which is really weird. That's very strange. If -40 disappeared, okay, well, I'm happy with that, but it probably won't happen. I think that's just a bug. We're going to recruit more units, though, for this navy, because they lost quite a few. But my general did actually... My admiral, sorry, because obviously he's controlling a navy, did increase in rank. So we're going to have to give him a skill, which is going to be warrior, because I want his boat to be very strong. Then we're going to get Penios over here, because... I mustn't forget about him. We're going to kill Naravas before he basically causes us any more problems. And we're going to assassinate him with a concealed blade. We've got 44% chance of actually causing that to happen. But we wounded him instead, which is good enough, I suppose, for now. He's only going to respawn here anyway. So Penios will deal with that when it comes. Then we have Adiatorix, who can continue his way through Bithynia's lands.
The shadows.
And Ambigatos, who can head up towards Cyrene to kill this warlord. Anauni can remain in her place. Adiatorix can also do the same. Cladios, again, I don't know why they're not converting. Maybe they need to be closer to a settlement, so I'll just put them there. And then we've got Brogia, in the culture of Garama. Okay, then the Swords of Power, they can finally be set to a normal stance, and we can actually attack Royal Scythia this turn. And I am going to do so. We have 4 units of ballistas. One of them actually has 1 man. There's only like 1 ballista as part of his unit, which is something I need to work out and get rid of, because I think somebody mentioned I captured it a very long time ago and then never remembered to get rid of it. But I'm still not sure which unit it is. So when I go into battle, I'll check and remember the unit rank of the particular unit, and then use it to work out which one I should disband. But for now, let's declare war on Royal Scythia, who have 0 allies, and kill them completely. This is an extremely strong army, but it looks like we're going up against steppe horse archers, which are going to be a pain in the ass to fight against. We've also got normal steppe archers as part of the garrison army, alongside tribesmen and steppe spearmen, and then we've got 2 extra armies of steppe horse archers and another army of steppe horse archers with a general who looks like some sort of spear cavalry, which is quite impressive. That is a lot of horses, and that could be a problem for me if I'm not careful about my unit placement. So I'll probably keep my ballistas very close to my spearmen and my chosen swordband behind them, because they're not going to be able to stand up against a charge from steppe horse archers. Really, even though the steppe horse archers are probably going to stay at range and just be a pain in the bum. But with the Britain ballistas alive, the horses won't stand a chance. Either way, generally we've beaten the odds, so let's jump in and fight this on the battle map. I'm going to be honest and say that I would like to keep it foggy for this battle. And I hope you guys don't mind, because honestly I am very scared for my soldiers in that they are going to take so much missile fire throughout this battle, and by moving concealed in fog it's going to help out my chances dramatically. We're going to attack from the front, I think, and just break down this wall, probably the best way to get in. Yes, it gives them a massive wall to hide behind, but from my perspective, probably the best place to attack. Let's get these ballistas and we'll line them up as such. So we're going to space them out just a little bit and move them a little bit further back so I can fit the spearmen in front of them. And it does look like I was correct with the one unit of ballistas, but we'll use him for now. That's just fine. Then we're going to get the spearmen off of the ladders, and they're going to stand right in front of the ballistas. Actually, we have 5 units, so let's not forget to use them all. Then we shall place the chosen sword band behind the ballistas, and the slingers even further behind, and then veteran riders close enough, and my general in between. Okay, and that's my army. Now, I'm keeping them condensed because of the amount of horsemen that the enemies have. Yes, they have a lot of archers, but if I let them pick me apart with the horsemen and charging me, then it's going to be worse than if I just take lots of missile fire. Okay, so these guys have big shields. They should be able to deal with the archers just fine. It is foggy, so the archers will have less range. It should all work out in my favour. Anyway, let's start the battle.
The artillery stands
and we will start firing upon these walls.
Brothers, once we have destroyed this settlement, they shall always fear us, knowing they are not safe even in their own homes.
Okay.
Will be a great
enemy reinforcements approaching.
Now I'm hoping that once these walls are down, we'll destroy the majority of these soldiers. This wall's nearly already completely destroyed.
The walls are breached.
And that's killed half that unit in one go. And now we're going to select these ballistas again and start firing towards the left.
With their blood. Ballista.
So I have a unit of ballistas hitting this side of the wall, and I've got another unit hitting the center part here. Now these guys are firing over to the left because their men have moved over to this side. But as soon as I've broken down enough places, I can just charge in and hopefully run down these archers before they get many shots off. I've also got to be careful about being flanked by horsemen, although generally in siege battles the reinforcements tend to go inside before they attack us, so they shouldn't be too much of a problem to begin with.
The walls are breached.
Okay, so we got the wall breach on the right,
Ballista.
and we can fire them towards the left now. I want to kind of keep on to some of the ammo, or hold on to some of the ammo though, just so that I can kill a lot of the cavalry when I actually enter the settlement. So these ballistas are actually having to move forwards in order to fire at the wall, which is probably due to the fog affecting their range. Looks like with this fort wall being completely damaged, the steppe archers basically had another half of their units destroyed. Right, let's grab these ballistas. We're going to stop them from firing. We shall move them up a little bit towards the enemy. But I'm going to grab my chosen sword band and we're going to run up towards these gaps.
Ballista!
Actually, before they get too close, I'm actually going to fire at this section of wall to make a bigger gap for them to run through. Hopefully these ballistas won't take friendly fire because they're standing in front of other ballistas. That would be pretty disgusting.
Take aim! Our spears are yours!
That's already down to 80%. Hopefully by the time my sword band actually get there, that will be broken down.
The walls
There we
are
go.
breached!
It's broken. So we're going to stop these guys from firing, although they're already off fire at will, so that won't matter too much. And we're going to continue to move them closer. Now it's time to charge into all of this cavalry. That is a lot of cavalry. But if they are engaged hand-to-hand combat with my sword band, then I think I will win anyway, so it's not going to be too much of an issue. But that is a huge amount of men. We're going to have to charge my spear band in quickly to deal with them. And we can also put these guys to explosive rounds and fire into the back of these horse archers. Actually, I'm probably going to keep it on normal stance because that's going to shred through those horse archers. You can see just how many of those horses died in one hit then. Seems like a lot of the shells are landing very close to my own men though, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to stop them pretty quickly. And my men can continue to charge through and kill off their horses. If they'd attacked me out in the open, they would have done so much better. But at the moment, my spearmen amongst my sword band are carving up these horse archers. Because the horse archers aren't made for melee combat, they're made for skirmishing at long range. And unfortunately for them, that's not exactly happening as my men slowly push forwards and then kill off all of these men. It's actually causing a lot of the horses to rout, especially on this side. So the majority of that side is dead. Now my men just continue to push forwards on this side. Hopefully these will flee soon enough. I also have my own cavalry which I could bring in to join in the fray.
General is dead.
Looks like we have succeeded in killing that general. Going to get a unit of chosen sword band and spear band to go around one side and one to go around the other. And these men can continue to charge towards the units that have pulled back and are attacking me from range. That is so many horses dying though, that is actually just carnage. See all of these units that we've got Seos here, one of the generals, is actually fighting amongst my men.
The enemy general is dead.
I think he probably just died when I told them to attack him.
Warriors of Britain.
Noble horse archers here of another general running straight into my spearmen. That's not going to do them any favours. So we're engaging them here. We're engaging them here. And you can just hear all of the horses dying as my spearmen and swordmen just run through them. That is just absolutely annihilating them. Then we got these guys over here who have just killed an entire general unit. And are now going to continue towards these steppe horse archers. Now, as much as these horse archers try to run, there's not very much space for them to run about, and they probably will get caught out. These men continue to charge through some of the young axes, and some steppe horse archers, but it looks like we've actually won the battle with 2 of their generals at least dying out of 3 of their armies, and that was a jolly good job. My ballistas not having to be used as much as I actually thought they would, again mainly due to the fact they didn't fight me out in the open. But we're going to end the battle there, a heroic victory, killing 2,856 of their men and only losing 216 of my own. And with that, we've probably killed at least 2 of their armies. One of them is dead, the one I originally attacked. The garrison will die. It looks like this army is going to get away with it, and same with the 3rd army, although they only have 2 units left. We're going to actually occupy this settlement, although I'm really tempted to sack it. I might just sack it. Let's go for it. It's the capital city. It's where we're going to get the most money. I need to start sacking settlements just to get my victory condition overall. So we may as well start here. We're going to have to attack it again because I've sacked it. But this time I'm just going to auto-resolve it. And we're going to go in an aggressive stance. And that's going to lose me more men than I would like. It actually lost me the ballista unit that I was intending to disband anyway, so it probably did me a favour. And we're going to occupy.
Ready for further orders.
So an increase in ranked for Flatusius. Swords of Power's military condition has increased, and we actually hit the maximum Imperium once again. I hit this a while back, and then they increased it to make it better for people who became very large nations, and I've hit it again. So here we are. We've now got the ability to control 16 armies, 8 navies, have 5 spies, 5 dignitaries, and 5 champions. Now, there's something I was actually thinking about. I really need to start recruiting more champions, but I'm probably not going to have time to do it now, as unfortunately it has been my time. But I am going to quickly repair all of these buildings before I forget, although I'm going to downgrade this one because it's a level 4 building that's going to cause a lot of squalor. Same with the Bronze Forge, actually. Going to, again, downgrade it, dismantle it. That will allow me to build a commons and probably a shrine in their place. So yeah, job done there. And that was a very nice battle, and that's left the Royal Scythians with only one more settlement, which is Panticapaeum. So that should fall soon enough. But for now, we can hold the capital of Ponta Caspia. There we go, probably going to rebel next turn, not a big issue. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. Looks like we are going to have to deal with rebellions eventually, because of the rate of expansion, the amount of settlements I actually need to sack from now on. But yeah, like I said, hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.